Hello and welcome to the Stronghold Digital Mining Daily Update. Today's Friday, July 7th, 2023. This is going to be a very short update. I apologize. The Zyner.com dashboard has been incredibly unreliable the past 24 hours. Although I believe I've identified the core issues that were affecting the dashboard's performance. It's one of those things where the data tracking kind of got kicked offline, and so I have sketchy data over the past 24 hours. Not to say that I don't have any data whatsoever, but it's a little sketchier than usual. I am endeavoring to ensure that this dashboard is as reliable as any Stronghold Digital Mining power plant or data center. And I say that from the perspective that, I think it's easy for all of us, right, to sometimes think, hey, how hard can it be to keep a power plant running? Or, hey, how hard can it be to keep a data center running? Well, what I'm discovering from firsthand experience is that it can be quite challenging, it seems, to keep a relatively, comparatively speaking, a relatively simple dashboard running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So, it gives me a perspective on just how tough it must be to keep a power plant with so many moving parts and so many opportunities for things to kind of go haywire. I have tremendous respect for our power plant team, our data center team, really just everybody at Stronghold Digital Mining. And so I think at the very least I could do is challenge myself to say, hey, let's try to make this dashboard as reliable and as consistent as possible. It updates about every 5 minutes or so. So, this is something that I'm really passionate about. I want to collect this data. I want to make sure the dashboard's available 24 hours a day. And so I'm really going to some extremes here at this point to really make sure that we don't have these problems again. Okay, with all of that being said, and I apologize once again for the issues, our stock price has been absolutely on fire. Absolutely on fire. When the beginning of Q3 2023 occurred, right, when we started that first trading session and we just saw how we kind of just blasted off, I was like, wow, that seems interesting, especially when you look at other companies, other publicly traded Bitcoin mining companies, all moving pretty substantially to the upside. I really sort of sensed, hey, I think something's happening here. I think we're starting to see a refocus on this sector, which is phenomenal. Listen, this helps us tremendously. It really does. But you know what? It's not just the fact that the market as a whole is seemingly moving in our direction. It's also the fact that we individually, right, as Stronghold Digital Mining, the company's been really trying very hard to control costs, which we've been successful at doing, and to maximize revenue wherever possible, right? We don't control grid prices, which, by the way, have been extremely good. And we certainly don't control Bitcoin mining economics, which all in all have been very good as well. But the things that we can control, such as keeping power plants online, keeping data centers operating, right? Making sure that we're investing in next generation Bitcoin mining machines, right? As was the case with our purchase of the micro BT, WhatsMiner M50 miners. The things that we have within our control to control, we're controlling them. So while Q2 2023, which is the quarter that just ended, may very well have been a challenging month, in some ways for us as a company, I think we're going to see that there's a lot of incredible progress that's been made. And now that we're in Q3 2023, our revenue inputs are turning in our favor, which is really cool. And that started to happen a bit at the very end of Q2 2023, right? Especially on the Bitcoin side of things. But now that we've got grid pricing really starting to surge, this is what we were built for. Stronghold Digital Mining is the ultimate energy arbitrage machine. And so when you have the opportunity to either, create the electricity that we create at Scrubgrass, which is our Western Pennsylvania power plant, or Panther Creek, which is our Eastern Pennsylvania power plant, and to either decide, okay, based on mathematics, based on economics, do we sell this electricity to the PJM grid? Or alternatively, do we use this electricity ourselves to mine Bitcoin. And I'll tell you something, the optionality that exists there, right, to be able to toggle between those two options, it can produce some incredibly, and I truly mean incredibly useful revenue. So this is incredibly exciting. I'm really, really happy with what's going on operationally with the company. And I think all of us as shareholders of this company, right, as co-owners of Stronghold Digital Mining, I think we can be so incredibly enthusiastic about what we're seeing in the stock market. I know that there's a lot of debate and confusion sometimes about what's our market cap, how many shares do we have outstanding. I look at a couple different, data sources, and market caps seem to differ from data source to data source. Here's the thing. We only have one stock price, thankfully, right? So we can all agree when we see the stock price moving up, as we saw happen today, right? We're up almost 14%. When we see that type of movement, that's something we can universally agree on. It's something we can universally be excited about, and it's something that gives us tremendous hope for the week ahead. So until then, let's be positive, let's be great, and we'll see each other again on Monday.